Good morning, and happy Saturday. I hope that you're not sleeping in and that you're joining me here this morning for your daily antiviral message, Living Beyond the Virus. And this is day 6. So each day I come here offering you an inspirational reading and affirmation, a few health tips, something to consider, something for the children to do, something for you to do, and a closing prayer so that we can move through this experience together. These messages are offered to sanitize our minds and cleanse our hearts and strengthen our spiritual being. I don't know why it doesn't look like I'm looking at you. Maybe because my thing is over there. Because it's our physical being that's vulnerable to the virus, and as we strengthen our mind and heart, things will get better. Now, don't sleep on the fact that the virus lodges itself in your respiratory system, the mechanism of your breath. And breathing is a spiritual activity. Now, while we may not be able to prevent or stop the virus, we can certainly increase and intensify our stance to live beyond it. So as we strengthen and focus our minds, open our hearts to loving each other, and I don't know about you, but I'm still basking in the love that we shared yesterday. So from that space of love, I believe we created and anchored an energy of peace and calm that opened the path for healing in the world. Now, we'll see as we go forward. And so we begin. Breath is our connection to the Creator, to God. So let us breathe together. I encourage you to take a long, deep inhale through the mouth, through the nose, and a slow, complete exhale through the nose. And as we breathe together, let's set an intention to defy anything that would challenge our spirit and our right and capacity to breathe fully and freely. Together, let us take another long, deep inhale through the nose and a slow, complete exhale through the nose. Now relax into this moment. Come fully present to this moment. Just take a moment. You don't have to type right now. Notice what it feels like to be in this right now moment. Just listen to the sounds and the feelings. Just breathe, relax, and just be aware. And let us take a moment to send light and love and energy to the children. All children everywhere on the planet. Bless those babies that are being born during this time. That's right, babies are still being born. Let us surround them with light as they're born in the same hospitals that are treating people with the virus. Let's take a moment to send light and love and energy to the children in the border cities who since last year may not know if they'll ever have a home or a bed or even a toy to play with. They are still in those camps, sleeping on cots. Let us relax and send white light healing energy out through our hearts to the children who are confused and bored and worried because we're so anxious and fearful. Whether we know their names or not, we can love on the children. Let's do that with a long, deep inhale and a slow, complete exhale. Just breathe and focus your attention on children. Let's take a moment and send light and love and energy to all the people who live alone. People who don't have family or children. Those who felt alone or were alone before we were ordered to stay home. Let's surround those who isolate, those who have withdrawn themselves and their hearts for whatever reason. They've withdrawn from the wealth and warmth of human connection and companionship. Some of them are elderly. Some of them are traumatized. Some of them are just wounded and broken from abuse or neglect. We can send white, healing, light energy to them to protect them, to love on them, whether we know their names or not. Just love on those who are isolated or feel isolated. Focus your breath, your attention on anyone and everyone who believes they're isolated and feeling alone today. Remember that what we give, we receive. So in giving light and energy and love, white light of protection to others, we are giving it to ourselves because we are all in this together. Yeah? Just breathe. Focus your intention and your attention. Our reading today comes from Acts of Faith by yours truly. That would be me. This is the reading for July 12th, but I think it pertains to right now, okay? If you are having a bad day, it is a personal problem that the world does not have to deal with. If you get up on the wrong side of the bed, it's nobody's fault but yours. If it's that time of the week or the month or the year, what would you have the world do? It is never an excuse for being rude or cruel or abusive or mean to anyone to simply say, I'm having a bad day. It is not appropriate to scream or swear or lash out or do those things that have no place among civilized people because you have something else on your mind. We cannot abuse or traumatize others because we are facing a challenge. Life is a challenge. Now, ancient wisdom tells us that it does not matter what difficulties we face. Our worth and value and internal experience is measured by how we face those difficulties. If we are to grow and reach our fullest potential, we have no time to waste on bad days. If you're having a bad day, get another one and get it quick. Now, I don't want to keep you long today because I know it's Saturday, so I'll just share with you what I've been working on. And maybe it's something that you and your village can do today. So even though I'm separated from my family, from my grandbees and my great-grandbees, those are my grandchildren, I'm always thinking about them. So I figured with all of the downtime that I have, I'm going to work on my family tree. I want my grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren to know their lineage. See, I remember growing up, every other person I grew up with was my aunt or uncle or cousin. Now, I had no idea how they were my cousin, but I was told this is your aunt, your uncle, your cousin, and so I believed it. But when I grew up and started asking questions, it turns out that there was no blood relationship between me and most of those people. Aunt Dora was not my aunt. Uncle Lee was not my uncle. They were friends of my parents or friends of the family. They were children of somebody being raised within our family because that's how we do it. As a matter of fact, I was 30 years old when I discovered that my mother wasn't my mother. Now, that's a long story. I'm not going to get into that today. But what I will say is, since we are home with time on our hands, why not create the story of your family so that your children will know who is who? The other day, my daughter-in-law came over and she brought my grandson. And he's in the kitchen. Now, I've been in his life since the day he was born. He knows that I'm yay. He comes. He knows where his cookies are. He knows what goes on in my house. But he had no idea that I was his father's mother. His father is my son, and he didn't know that. And I was horrified. Then I realized that we often tell our children our titles, but we rarely explain the relationship. Well, we got time to do that right now. I got my thing. I printed it off the internet, and I've got my chart. I'm suggesting a Zoom call or a Skype call to grandma, to auntie, to pop. Pick their brain and get the family stories and the relationships and write them down. Then create some sort of visual. You know, I inherited my grandmother's Bible. And she had the family history all the way back to the 1900s written down, all the way back to the reservation. So I took her notes and I put them in my Bible, and then I started making a family tree. Now, I'm the last one standing. My sister's gone, my brother's gone, my mother, my father, they're all gone. But I do have some family out there. I don't know where they are because of the disruption that happened in my family. We're all separated. But I wrote down what I was told and what I remembered. Look, we're locked up in the house together. We are forced. We have the opportunity to be family-centered. So why not spend today documenting the family story? You can do that call, that Zoom call, a Skype call, and talk to people and get the stories and the relationships. And if you know your family history already, then find something and make it visual so it can be duplicated and demonstrated. Use your coloring pencils. Make symbols. Tell the story. Make today Family Day. Chart out your family story. Chart out your family history. And instead of running the risk of having a bad day, make this a family day. Okay? That's what I want to tell you today. I also wanted to remind you of all the things that we talked about this week. I got this from Family Tree Templates. They're online. You can just go and get them. And if the children are around, this is my chart that I'm using just to document who married who and who did what to who, and because so I can know the cousins and the aunts and all of those things real. You can download these things for free. I told you already about the printable coloring pages because today is Saturday, and although everybody would be home, it would be, we've been home all week, so now we want to really get some energy moving. I know I want to send some love out to my New York family. I know that y'all are on the stay-home order. I know it's going to be tempting to go down to Fulton Street or Pickens Avenue or up to 125th. All light and love to the vendors on 116th Street and all street vendors, because I know Saturday is their big day, and we can't do that now. So printable coloring pages, your family tree. Don't forget, now let me ask you this. Why is it that because we can't touch each other, we don't look at each other? I had to go to the store yesterday, and when I saw people coming, they immediately dropped their head. I said, okay, well, you can't catch the virus through your eyeballs. We can look at each other. We have to look at each other, smile. Just don't touch. Keep your distance, right? And again, we're praying today for people who feel isolated. So we want to send them some love and energy, okay? Greens, this is Sunday's coming. If you can run out to the store, kale, collard greens, spinach, make sure that you get that in. The other thing that I heard a friend of mine who's a naturopath was saying, foods also increase your moods or affect your moods. So stay off the sugar. Stay off the sugar. Sugar is going to have you bouncing off the walls, and then you're going to drop. And so you don't want to do that, okay? Stay off the sugar. So your greens, don't forget your garlic and raw honey, star anise tea, your oregano capsules. Oregano kills parasites in the body. Get the capsules, don't get the oil because it tastes horrible, okay? If you can get some echinacea, that's also good. D3, but although it's getting warm now, we just don't get enough sun. So make sure that if you can get some D3 and K, you can take that. Again, as we do this work to build our mind and our hearts and our spirits, it also strengthens the physical body, because the virus ain't coming for your mind, it's coming for your heart. So for your body. So keep your mind and heart focused and clear. Do that family stuff. Call on those ancestors. Call on that energy. Tell the story. Make sure the children know their grandmother's name, their great-grandmother's name, if you know it. And if you don't, who can you call? Call Pop, call Auntie, call Big Mama. Get those stories and write them down. Go get your charts so you can print them down. Salt baths. Don't forget, today is a good day for a salt bath. Listen, I saw Madam C.J. Walker last night. It's on Netflix. Did you see it? Oh, my God. Octavia Spencer, Blair Underwood. It's about Madam C.J. Walker, the first African-American, first female millionaire in the country, and the first African-American female millionaire. She invented the hot combs. She knows that I'm not using her product. But that's okay. The other thing is, I know this is going to sound bad, but a neti pot. Do you know what a neti pot is? A neti pot is a pot that you put water in and you insert it in your nostrils and inhale the water so that you clean out your nasal cavities, because that's attached to your eyes and your ears and your throat. And you don't have to have a neti pot. You can do it with water, but use salt and water or lemon and water and clean your nose out, because this thing is airborne, okay? So, go to Netflix, get Madam C.J. Walker. If there are any movies that you haven't seen, old movies, pop some popcorn. Don't put any caramel on it. Put butter on it. I do love butter. That's one of my favorite foods. And do something with the children today. I swear, this family tree thing, let them know who they're related to. If you remember old stories, tell them. All right? I want to leave you with this. I didn't give you an affirmation today, so I'll just say our affirmation today is, I am happy Saturday, and I'm having a good day. Okay? No bad days today. Our reading comes from The Sacred Yes by Reverend Deborah L. Johnson, and it comes from chapter 6, and the reading is Peace on Earth. Listen to what she says. What is this thing called peace that you speak so much of, particularly at the end of the year? You speak of peace on earth as though there were a way for peace to rain down upon the earth the way sun rays shine down on the earth. Peace is not something that is generated from a distant location or planet or anything out there. Peace is generated in the heart. Okay? Did you hear that? Peace is generated in the heart. Instead of always saying peace on earth, it might do you well to talk about peace in your heart. The only thing that you ever see demonstrated out in the world, hear me, the only thing that you ever see demonstrated out in the world is just a reflection of whatever it is that you human beings are harboring in your heart. I'm going to read that again. Listen. Whatever you see demonstrated out in the world, it is a pure reflection of whatever it is that you human beings are harboring in your heart. So what have we been harboring that would show up as a virus that's attacking us in the street? Okay? Bad days. Don't have none. And don't have none today. Again, I want to encourage you, if you can, if you're open to it, go over to masterpiecebodytherapy.com. Take a look at our Peace and Calm collection, made with lavender and chamomile. And I call it Siempre Vivo, but it is really life everlasting. It's also made with, sage and rosemary. These are the herbs that I've placed in the oils so that you can cleanse and clear your body and fill your energy with peace. Okay? So, I hope this message has been helpful. Don't forget, you can go to printablefreefamilytreetemplates.com and get some of these things. If you want to do your family history, make those calls. Remember, send light and love to the children all day. You can go back in the box and send some more love like we did yesterday. Be sure to be with me tomorrow for our Sunday morning service, because I know a lot of us can't go out to church. I just may have some special guests for you, okay, tomorrow. Be a great, great day. Deep bow to us all. Deep bow. Mwah.